Hey kids, hope you're doing well. Sorry I'm out today. As most of you know, I'm at drill, so I've got some Army stuff going on today, and I will later try to put a couple pictures of what we're doing this weekend on the Google Classroom. It's going to be kind of an interesting weekend for me. But anyway, back to the slide you're looking at now. For the transportation revolution, this is a big change in the United States. The U.S. is growing rapidly. It's getting larger, as we've discussed, with people moving west. We started talking about wagon trains in the video we watched yesterday. But the way people travel is also changing. So before, you had to walk or ride on an animal for thousands of years of human history. And now we're getting into a place where there's better transportation or larger transportation, soon powered transportation. And that's the big, I'm getting ahead of myself in the slide too. But anyway, the way people travel is changing. We're getting better roads in the United States. We are getting these cool canals like in the video you just saw. And these things are letting people who live further away from each other still interact with one another. So a farmer who lives in New York can send his goods down the Erie Canal into the Great Lakes and reach Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, these other growing Midwest states. Or somebody who lives on the East Coast can now take the national road and go past the Appalachian Mountains fairly easily, or much easier than it would have been, 50 years before, or 30 years before, when those trappers were going out into the woods to hunt for beaver pelts. And this idea of our world getting smaller is continuing to this day. That's why this is a big deal, because for journeys that used to take months are going to start taking days, and journeys that are going to take days in our lifetime now just take a few hours, and it changes the way that we interact with each other. It's why we can have food year round that is out of season here, or that we can't even grow in this area, or it's the way that we can, get a cool little piece of technology that's got probably parts built in dozens of countries and assembled in China and then shipped over here and working awesomely. So the transportation revolution is probably the most significant global event since we talked about the Columbian Exchange at the beginning of the year. Anyway, if you didn't notice, maybe I should have mentioned this earlier, these notes are on the Google Classroom. So my gift to you in my absence is that you don't actually have to write the notes down. You can copy them and save them. So now that we've read about the roads, we've talked about the canals, you saw the video on that, we're going to move on and do a little bit of reading about steam power and how steam power is also going to change the world.